In the world of hospitality, lasting success is never, ever an accident. It's engineered. So today, we're going to look under the hood at the real engine that drives a hotel's revenue, a proactive sales discipline called prospecting.
Hello and welcome. I'll be your guide for this session. Our whole program here is designed to give you practical, real-world knowledge that you can actually use, blending deep industry experience with the latest AI-driven insights. So let's dive right in.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the huge risks of just sitting back and waiting for business. Then we'll define what proactive prospecting really is and see how it builds revenue across three key pillars. After that, we'll explore the wider strategic wins and see how it all clicks together to create this amazing cycle of growth. So, let's kick things off with the core problem. Far too many hotels are stuck in what I call a reactive mode. Basically, they're just waiting for the phone to ring. And honestly, this leaves them completely vulnerable to every little shift in the market.
And this is a question that every single person in hospitality has to ask themselves. Because leaving your revenue up to chance, that isn't being optimistic. It's a massive risk to the financial health of your entire operation.
I mean, the difference here is just night and day. On one side, you've got this passive reliance, just hoping that repeat guests show up and you get some last-minute bookings. That model is so fragile. A new competitor opens up down the street or the economy takes a dip and boom, you're in trouble. But on the other side, proactive prospecting gives you control. It helps you build a steady, stable flow of business you can count on. So really, the choice is pretty simple. Are you going to be an architect of your revenue or just a victim of whatever the market throws at you? And that, of course, brings us to the solution, prospecting. This is how you take back control. It's the strategic discipline that literally puts you in the driver's seat of your hotel's financial future.
Now, let's be clear. This is so much more than just picking up the phone and making cold calls. Real, effective prospecting is a high-level, strategic function. It's this perfect blend of careful research, targeted communication, and the persistence you need to connect the right opportunities out there with your hotel's specific goals.
And this isn't random guesswork, right? It's a very clear, methodical process. It all starts with analyzing the market to see where the opportunities are. From there, you pinpoint your ideal clients, then you engage them with a message that actually matters to them. And throughout it all, you're focused on building a real, lasting relationship.
Okay, so let's get into the specifics. How does all this actually translate to better performance? Well, it all comes down to how prospecting directly impacts the three core pillars of a hotel's revenue. This is where strategy really starts to hit the bottom line.
So, pillar number one is your foundation, your base business. Think of this as the steady, reliable heartbeat of your hotel's income. We're talking about those corporate contracts, the recurring events, the kind of business you can build a solid forecast around. And prospecting is exactly how you find and lock down this essential, predictable demand.
Pillar 2 is all about tackling that age-old challenge, the slow season. Prospecting for need periods is kind of like weatherproofing your revenue. It's that targeted, smart outreach that fills rooms when you need it the most, turning what would have been empty space into pure profit.
And finally, our third pillar. This one is all about raising the ceiling on what's possible for your profitability. This means going after that premium business, the kind that commands higher rates. This is how you stop just filling rooms and you start maximizing the value of every single one. So when you bring these three pillars together, you get this incredibly healthy, balanced revenue mix. Your base business gives you stability, those higher-rated segments drive your profit up, and the need period business keeps things consistent. This right here, this is the blueprint for a truly resilient hotel.
But the impact of a strong prospecting culture goes way, way beyond just the numbers on a balance sheet. It builds some really powerful strategic and reputational advantages for your entire property.
One of the absolute biggest wins here is pricing power. Think about it. When your sales pipeline is consistently full of potential business, you're no longer forced to slash your rates just to get heads in beds. You get to negotiate from a position of strength, not desperation. And that's a game changer.
And we can't forget the human element in all of this. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Hospitality is all about relationships, not just transactions. When you invest the time to really understand a client's needs, you build trust. And that trust, that's the glue for partnerships that last for years.
And the positive effects just keep rippling outwards. A great prospecting culture diversifies your clients, so you're less vulnerable. It makes your financial forecasts way more accurate.
It gets your brand name out there, brings in priceless intel about the market, and it helps your sales team grow professionally every single day. Okay, this brings us to my favorite part, where all of these amazing benefits really lock into place. See, they don't just add up, they multiply. They create this powerful, self-reinforcing momentum that just keeps building. This is that virtuous cycle in action. It starts with consistent outreach. That outreach builds your brand visibility. That visibility gives you a stronger negotiating position. A stronger position lets you secure higher quality revenue. And that stable, quality revenue gives you the foundation to do even more proactive outreach. You see, each step just powerfully fuels the next one.
So in the end, what you're really building isn't just a sales plan. It's a dynamic ecosystem for success. And this is what allows a hotel to not just survive, but to actually thrive in a market that's getting more competitive every single day.
So as you move forward in your careers, I want to leave you with this one question to think about. Are you going to be part of a sales culture that waits for business to happen to it? Or are you going to be the one who builds the engine that drives its success? The choice is yours.